So if you've been watching the NFL for any kind of time, like every time you see a press conference, right, coaches very rarely speak about, I don't want to say real issues, but more of just like there's a level of political coach speak that goes on. They usually don't throw anybody under the bus, anything like that. And for a good amount of players, the same could be said.
Yeah.
So Tua, it's from the Dan Le Batard show, was interviewed and was asked about Brian Flores, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And so this is what, oh, you got it up? All right. Look at the, I already have, all right, you're rocking. You're rocking.
This is what he said. This is what he said.
Well, to put it in simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do,
Dad,
you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. Like, you are accurate, you are the best whatever, you are this, you are that. Like, how would it make you feel listening to one or the other? You see what I'm saying? And then you hear it, regardless of what it is, the good or the bad. And you hear it more and more. You start to actually believe that. I don't care who you are. You could be the president of.
That's the gist of it.
well, because he also says
Then he
that
goes to tell you to
there's
vote.
teammates that are
Biden.
still feeling that way too.
What's that?
He said there's teammates that are still working that out too. And you know what's funny? The first thing I thought of after that, seeing that clip, was that conversation, like with Mike McDaniel's on the phone, like he's on, I think it was FaceTiming him like from the plane, and he's like, dude, like I'm gonna do everything I can to make you successful. So
yeah, that's what a coach's job is.
Yeah, right. That's what they're supposed to do. So, but this goes into like different coaching styles, which then like made me think about like Belichick, when that was like the man in the arena thing from years ago. I didn't watch the documentary thing they put out this year, but how Belichick was like, hey, anything you do is not good enough, right? If you win 64-0, it's why didn't you win 70-0, right? And it's like improvement rate, and you put your head down until the end of the season, and hopefully you win a Super Bowl, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So I like to think that it's different coaching styles, but it just seems that he was not the right coach for Tua and like how he likes to be coached. And I think the benefits are right there.
Yeah, there's two things there, because Flores comes from the Belichick coaching tree, right?
Sure.
So what we know about the Belichick coaching tree is it sucks. It fucking blows, Tom. Because all of those coaches, I think, watch Bill.
Yeah.
They watched Bill have success with Tom Brady. And I think Tom and Bill had this weird connection where like Tom is motivated by that type of stuff.
Sure.
At least he was for most of his career. And I think at a certain point, Tom was like, all right, we do need to loosen up just a little bit around here. I would like to have some fun playing this game. And since I can't, it's time for me to go. But like Brian Flores, Matt Patricia, Josh McDaniels, any of these guys, they all come and they try that same shtick in the next place, and it doesn't work. And I think like you can have that sort of mentality and think like maybe that's the way to coach because that's where they've had success in New England.
Sure.
But if your quarterback's not responding to that, you have to adapt.
Correct.
And try a different approach. And I think, Flores is a defensive guy too. And I think defensive coaches have a little bit different of a mentality.
I agree.
And that can work with defensive players because I think defensive players have a little bit different of a mentality. Most of them are trying to kill somebody on any given play. Like they have that aggressive sort of, I want to hurt somebody. Like that's how I'm good at my job.
And you're already at a disadvantage just being on the defense in a very offensive driven league. Sure.
Quarterbacks have so much to think about, so much to compute on like every play. So if you're getting in their head, like as a coach in the wrong way, like you're dooming yourself. So it was interesting and refreshing to hear Tua say that. And I'm so glad you put it in the rundown because I hadn't seen it yet. And it's, it doesn't mean that like Brian Flores can't coach somewhere else one day and have success, because he wasn't even, I don't even think he was a bad head coach. I just think he was a bad quarterback coach. And maybe he should have just been hands off and let like the right offensive coordinator handle that and just, manage the game, manage the offense as a whole, which, maybe it would have worked. But
so the thing that's starting to make waves is longer in that clip. He's like, when you have a terrible person like saying all these things, like that was right before. And so people were like, is he calling Brian Flores a terrible person? Like that's already starting to make waves on the good old internet there.
Sure.
But I think it comes down to coaching style. And I think that Flores also, obviously from the Belichick tree, but comes from a very like traditional football coaching standpoint, right? Of that, I'm just going to use it because I love this movie, like the whiplash mentality of just like, hey, like we are going to treat you like complete garbage, right? To get the best out of you, like to push you.
Yeah.
And for some people, like you mentioned Brave, for some people, that works great. Like that works fantastically well. Like I talked about that when I taught psychology. I was talking to seniors and a bunch of them were athletes, and some of them responded really well to like just like kind coaching and kind of whatever. And there were some who's like, no, I need you to like scream in my face and tell me like how useless I am. And that's going to motivate me to do better. But again, that's just coaching techniques and different, how players are going to respond to that.
I would much rather play for Mike McDaniel.
Super Bowl. That's my hot educated wish.
I need that positive reinforcement. Tell me I'm great, even when I suck.
Is that how you're motivated?
I don't know. I think I'm self-critical. So like I want somebody just to tell me like how to fix it, but not be an asshole about it. I don't think I didn't like the coaches I had that were the biggest dicks. I hated the most. You know what I mean?
But is it just because like they were just being dicks just to be dicks?
Probably.
Because like I remember a football coach. There was two of them. One was like a little bit kinder, and the other one like just was a total a-hole, and like made us run until people were puking. We didn't win a single game that year, right? So like it wasn't effective.